So hello, everyone. And today we have the wonderful and amazing Chris Mygatt, who is the president of Coldwell Banker Colorado. And so we've got a true expert on the line with us. And in these trying times, I'm just trying to give some people guidance as to what to expect from the real estate market. And of course, we have no crystal ball, but we'll do the best we can, right?
Exactly right. Exactly.
Okay. Now, I do have some questions for you, and I also have questions that were emailed to me through my ad.
Oh,
We told
good.
a lot of people we were going to do this, and so I have a lot of my clients and the general community that sent us some questions. So
Oh,
maybe
very
we should
good.
just start there, or did you
Let's
want to
do.
tell us?
Absolutely.
Well, one of the best questions that I thought I got today was just a real simple one. Can I even sell or buy right now? And how do I do it?
Well, that's a great question, and I would say that Colorado is not like necessarily the rest of the country. So we're talking about Colorado specifically, Boulder County specifically today, in our conversation. But yes, the governor in Colorado has come out and said that an actual real estate transaction is included in the essential services. So what that means in a nutshell is that as long as you're under contract, we can do everything that needs to get done to get the home actually closed. That means a home inspection, it means an appraisal in some cases, it means going to a closing. But one of the silver linings of all that's going on right now is that our state legislature and real estate commission has been very, very proactive in getting some things done that should have been done, quite frankly, years ago. Enabling sellers, for example, to be able to close their home without having to attend a closing. They don't need to notarize anything. It can all be done electronically. It can all be done remotely. In fact, many lenders are making it possible now to sign notes and deeds of trust, the two documents that needed to be notarized in person for years. They've made that change. So there is some good stuff coming from this. We're becoming more efficient.
Well, and of course, us being able to show houses online and virtually, which we've done for years. I mean, I've sold
Yes.
many houses through the years, sight unseen. And then
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
go through them as part of the due diligence process for the
That's right.
closing. And that's
That's
still
right.
happening today, where we're putting things under contract with virtual tours of the seller or, work that we've had done previously on the house. A seller walking through the house with a camera, and the buyer goes, I'm going to look at it on Google Earth. I'm going to drive the
That's
neighborhood.
right.
I might even walk the
Yes.
neighborhood or around the yard with my mask on. And then we put it under contract, and during the due diligence period, they're certainly welcome to go in the house. So, there are
Yep.
ways
That's right.
that we're doing
That's
this. So I think there are,
You've outlined that very well. Exactly.
yes. So this probably somewhat answers the second question as well. Have you seen industry changes in response to, the COVID-19? And do you think they will stick?
Yes, and I do. I think the whole idea about making closings easier for people, that
Mhm.
will stick. I think the idea that you just mentioned, Karen, which is there must be a more efficient way to identify that dream house, the one house you want. And yes, it means maybe a little more work up front in utilizing technology like Matterport tours and great video, and then identifying the property and saving yourself a lot of time at the end when you actually go and then inspect the property.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah, I
really
think this
does.
will stick. I do.
Yeah, well, the good things we hope will. And of course, getting you together and hugging your clients after the closing, we hope we can do that
Exactly.
someday again. For
Exactly.
goodness. Okay, now this is a really important one. We've had some people that, fortunately, we had about 20 or 25 things under contract when the
Yeah.
stay-at-home order went into place. We managed, all of those did close. The buyers felt comfortable and confident,
That's
and
great. Yeah.
so far, knock on wood, they have closed. But as we put,
Yeah.
people want to buy right now. Interest rates are so low, between 2.5% and 3.5%.
Oh, they
It's
are.
incredible.
Yeah.
But they're worried that about job security. If they get laid off in the next few weeks and they've put something under contract, what happens?
So it's just important to acknowledge that there are about 22 million people in America that don't have a job right now. And that's a very small number compared to the large universe of people that are employed. But it begs your question, which is, what do I do? How do I do? So a couple of things I would think about. First of all, about half of the homes that we sell in Colorado require a mortgage. About half of them do not. So many buyers have always bought and will buy in the future without the need of a mortgage. And also remember that housing that you say so well is really part of the lifestyle. It's part of where people live, not just an investment. So one thing I would make very clear is that all of our secondary mortgage markets, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, Ginnie Mae, all of those just enacted a new rule about a week and a half ago saying that the lender is required to call and verify employment one business day prior to closing. So it is really important that if someone goes under contract now, by using the great techniques and ideas you offered, and then they go towards closing, if they need the job to qualify for the loan, they want to make sure they're feeling pretty confident before they actually close.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just don't want to do anything would be
Well, that's what we're seeing currently.
fraudulent to a lender in any way, of course. Okay, another
I
really
can hear
good
you.
question. If I sell my home now, will I get less money than if I waited for the economy to recover a bit? You know, our price is going to go down for our sellers right now. What's your prediction there?
Boy, everyone is wondering. Like that's the $1 million question, right? And here's what I would just offer, because we sell about 10,000 homes a year. You a large percentage of those. Thank you, Karen. We appreciate that.
I wouldn't say that was a large
But
percentage.
keep
That's
in
good.
mind that the prices or homes rather in the, let's just say, $700,000-800,000 price point and down, we're seeing, even during these trying times, even with having to modify how we sell homes, we're seeing multiple offers on some homes. That is putting upward pressure on the sales price. Now, with that said, there are also homes that the seller is not comfortable having people come through even after under contract. We're having situations where sellers are just nervous about even being in the market at all. And those homes are coming off the market. So I think here's what I'm telling people, what I'm seeing. Homes in Colorado, even during the deepest, darkest days, 2009, 2010, although we had fewer units selling, the prices actually held up pretty strong. This whole situation that we're in, this tragic situation that we're in right now, was started and has nothing to do with the real estate market. It has to do with a health issue.
Or
So
the
we
general
haven't really
economy.
seen.
Yeah, it
That's
doesn't
right.
even
The
do
overall
with the
economy,
general economy.
strong as could be coming into this. So our expectation is, even now, we've got fewer homes on the market because people have taken some homes off the market, which means the demand has gone down, number of people, but the overall demand as a percentage of properties, as a percentage of buyers, has held pretty constant. So I would say if you're thinking I'm going to wait for a lower price, probably not a good strategy. Now, you may want to wait for other reasons, but I wouldn't be waiting for a lower price right now.
Or for a higher price if you're a seller.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know,
You've
it's
got to be
interesting.
competitive. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you need to be competitive. You know, well, it's interesting. What I noticed is trying to catch the top, trying to catch the bottom. You know, I'm a residential realtor. Do you need to
Yeah.
move?
Right. That's right.
You know, that's pretty much what it amounts to.
Yeah. Don't chase the trough. Don't chase the peak. It rarely ever ends well. You need to live somewhere. You need a home for
Right.
your family.
And a lot of what we're doing right now, and I hope you're seeing this from your other agents, is that we're lining them up. We're getting
Yeah.
ready to come on the market, even if they don't want to come on the market
That's
right
right.
now or be on the
Yeah.
market now. Line up, get in the queue, because it's going to
Yes.
happen really quickly when we can show homes again. There is so much demand. People have
Oh,
been
it's going
home
to turn
going,
so fast.
oh, and people have been home going, we need a bigger house. We need a bigger house, honey. Honey, we need a bigger house. And
Yes.
so they
You bring up a great point, because people are valuing their home more
oh,
than they
more
did
than
before, because now they're spending more time in their home. And I would argue one of the questions you asked earlier is, are we going to see lasting changes? And I think yes, one of the lasting changes we're going to see is we're going to have a lot more people who used to work out of an office choose to work out of their home.
yeah.
Thus, the home becomes more important to them.
I agree with
Yeah.
you. And, you know, you see the value of some homeschooling, and you see the value
Yes.
of having a big yard for your children to
Yep.
play
Your
in.
animals. Yeah.
And a
Yeah.
little space from your husband. Those kinds
I've
of
been hearing
things.
about that too, Karen. Exactly. I'm hearing
Oh,
that at
yeah,
home
yeah.
right now.
Marcy is like, forget it, right?
Yeah, Marcy's like, aren't you going to go out for a cup of coffee or something?
Right, you're
Anything?
like, I can't go out for coffee, honey. Forget it. The dog, is totally tired from the walks. If I buy, if there someone's wanting to buy, should they wait for foreclosures to pop up?
Yeah, I just think that's a naive strategy. I mean, I understand how you can think if we have a lot of unemployment, then therefore that's going to happen. But the reality is that this is going to recover, I think, as quickly as it happened. And as that recovery happens, it won't be time. Because remember, the one thing that's required for a foreclosure is time. There's a lot of time that has to go through of a very depressed market, very depressed economy to even get any foreclosures, especially in Colorado. We have to be a year and a half from now. So no, I don't think that's a good strategy.
Well, and also now banks are being very flexible
Very flexible.
on
Yes,
payments. Thank goodness they've been very
that's
good.
right. They've been great.
Um, do you see any other additional risk to buying a home now due to the current economy?
No, I don't. Like, and you said it earlier. You said it's a home. It's where you live. And because of that, people need a place to live right now. So now I don't see anything. Again, this wasn't driven by the economy. It wasn't driven by an overinflated housing market. This is a health issue. When that gets resolved, we will get back to a more normal environment than we're in right now.
Yes, I agree. The only thing that I always am a little bit, and I would caution people with this is many times people could say, hey, the economy's good. I'm going to buy another home and then I'll sell mine. Might be the
Yes.
time to say, hey, let's get ours on the market, maybe a good
Get your
price,
home on the market now. Yes, get it
conditional
sold.
upon finding something else. I don't sleep at night with those customers because I'm so worried about them.
Well,
So
that's exactly
money you
right.
can
No,
afford to keep it.
yeah, point well made. I would
You know.
completely agree with that assessment.
Where do you see the Boulder area market? I know we've got such a strong market here for years.
Oh,
Where do you see that
Boulder.
going in the next few months?
Well, so Boulder is unlike much of the rest of the state and the world, as we all know. And Boulder has had this ability to be able to withstand some of the most challenging times. So, with that said, again, I think if this was a long, protracted situation, then there might be more impact on pricing, more impact on availability, more impact on decisions. But because no one, by all, and I'm like all of us, we're all reading like everything we can get our hands on. I don't see anything that says this is a long, protracted event. So, no, I think we're going to see Boulder as well as many desirable markets, Austin, Texas, some really desirable markets around the country that have the ability to what I call float. They're able to float more time than most markets. The residents of Boulder, by and large, are not as knee-jerk reaction about, oh no, this is bad. We better sell everything we own. Oh no, 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 this is an opportunity. We better buy everything. No, they're very thoughtful, more methodical.
I think that's so true. And we have such a high tech market where people were so
Yes,
much working at home anyway. I'm
exactly.
doing a new series now called Homegrown Businesses,
Oh,
Homegrown by Bernardi, because now
yeah.
it's a good time for people to say, wait a minute, maybe I want to start a business at home.
It's a
So,
great time.
watch
Yes.
for that, everybody. It'll be really
Oh, that's
good.
great. I look forward to seeing that,
That'll
hearing
be
that.
good.
Yeah.
Now, home inspections are taking place as normal. Of course, I just wanted the listeners
Yeah,
to know.
great reassurance. Yes, anything
Yeah,
involving getting the property closed, home inspections, appraisals, any of that, the closing itself, all of that is happening. I don't want to say normally, but here's what we're learning. We're learning that in many cases, some banks are allowing to do drive-by appraisals. They're using more
they
research and the data, not having to go in the homes. Same thing with home inspectors. We're seeing in some cases we have home owners participating with an inspector virtually. We're seeing all kinds of creativity. But
are. Yeah,
yes, still happening.
things that probably should have happened a long time ago.
Yes,
To have our
exactly.
earth be a little bit cleaner. I mean, it's
Yeah,
amazing how many times I don't have to get in my car now that I did.
it is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, the
Absolutely
sunspots
amazing.
on my hands have gone away. Although all kinds of good
This is
benefits.
one of the silver linings, right,
Oh,
Karen?
there are many, many,
Yeah, there
there
are.
are so many. And at the same time, there's so much sadness and,
Oh,
worry and concern
yeah.
for, the world. And I know
Yes,
we'll get
yes.
through this, but we have
No,
so many brilliant scientists and the whole world working together
which
to
is
solve.
fabulous. Oh,
It's
it
amazing,
is
amazing.
wonderful. Yeah.
So on another, I of course work a lot with, and my clients have called me a lot. They have investment properties.
Yeah.
Have you seen this affect investment properties at all? And are people still looking for homes to rent? Tell me what you
Yeah, I
think.
just was actually on the phone earlier today with one of the largest property management companies in Colorado, and in talking to Greg Batchelor, he was commenting that even during this time, we're seeing the demand for rental properties at an all-time high because some people who are in transition are choosing just to grab something to take a breather and decide what they're going to do. And that's put actually even more pressure on the very limited number of investment properties we have in Colorado. So, as usual, like in Colorado, we're seeing that the investors that own investment property are faring fine. And those that are looking to get into that market, again, if you're looking to buy an investment property before COVID, you probably should still be looking. And if you weren't, you shouldn't use COVID for a reason to buy an investment property. It's look at your strategy. What is your investment strategy, and stick with it.
Well, I so agree with that. And I tell my clients, real estate, and especially, investing in real estate, it's a long-term play.
It
I
is.
remember,
Yes.
going through, and I know you remember this, us going through the financial crisis when the S&Ls went,
Oh,
you know,
yes.
that was bad.
RTC.
I mean,
Oh
that was
my gosh.
really bad financially, not, health-wise and
Yes.
danger-wise, but
Yes.
certainly endangered a few people because I think we had some strokes and heart attacks during that
Oh, we
one.
sure did. We absolutely did.
And then there was 9/11.
Yep. Yep.
That was very frightening, not to, very different than this, but really scary. And we came back from that. That was
Yep.
quite a shock for
It
quite some
was.
people.
It had
And
a
then,
similar scare factor, I think, Karen. You mentioned 9/11 and this COVID, they really share this idea of not feeling in control and not feeling like you have a full understanding of what's going on. The other financial downturns were a little bit easier to stomach, understand. These are scary. They just are.
yeah, because there's like you said, so many things out of our control
Yeah.
in human
Yeah.
lives.
Yep.
And, but I know that even after 9/11 and then the next purely financial crisis in 2008 was, oh my gosh, that was really frightening for a lot of people. People lost
Yes.
their homes, lost their equity. But people that invested then or stuck through it then, oh my gosh, they made a lot of money.
They made a
You know,
lot of money.
well,
A
they've
lot of
doubled.
money.
Prices have
Yes.
doubled in Boulder
Yes, that's
County.
right.
They've doubled
That's
since
right.
then. So,
Yeah.
it's
They were
interesting,
courageous in a time when a lot of people were not courageous.
right?
That's the payback.
A couple of our other questions. I thought this was a great one from one of my past clients. She said, this was interesting. She said, "I have a mid-range home in Boulder. It's worth about $1 million to $1.1 million." So she's in
Wow.
a mid-range home in Boulder.
Yes,
That's correct.
yes.
And she said, "What are your projections over the next 1, 2, or 3 years for something like that?" And then past that, she said, if we wanted to sell our home now, she has heard from various people that they're no longer giving jumbo loans.
Okay. And as you well know, that's not the case. Jumbo loans are being written every single day. In
Thank you.
fact,
I said I've just closed like 4 this month.
exactly. And in Boulder specifically, I mean, quite frankly, the jumbo loans are almost the only loans that people need to get because of the price point. You mentioned the very modest home price at $1.2 million. Yeah, the
Medium,
jumbo
yeah.
market is very healthy, very strong, and I would say this: it's very competitive. Meaning, if you're a borrower, this is a great time to be obtaining a jumbo loan because if you can lock in this rate, you mentioned 2.5 to 3.5%. If you can lock this rate in now for even a 7 or 10 year ARM or a 15-year fixed, you will be a very happy person
I
as the
think I
days move
saw one
forward.
today that was 2.5
Oh,
for a 15-year. I was like, well, a jumbo.
yeah,
Actually, the jumbo rates can actually be better. So yeah, I'm
that's right.
I'm doing it too, but I wanted to hear from the experts, somebody that can
Well,
verify. We can get jumbo loans. It's
we
not a
can.
problem
Yes,
at
yes,
all.
we can.
The other thing that I really would love to hear from you, and she had this question as well, is of course they're home doing home improvements for when they want to sell. They've been calling me, Karen, what should we do? And during this time that they're hemmed in, clean out every closet, clean
Yes,
out every shelf.
yes.
Any other improvements that you think really, as you see from agents, that really they're going to get bang for their buck later on?
So a couple of things come to mind. First of all, like you, I've been on conference calls every day, all day long for now almost 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks. And here's what I've learned. I've learned that almost everybody I'm on a call with has kids in the background, has family members in the background, but on almost, well, probably half the cases, there's a contractor walking by with a mask on. There's a plumber walking by, the painter walking by. People have used this time so
Mm,
smartly because remember, any kind of professional services like plumbers and construction people, they've all been under the right to work in Colorado. So they're working. So this is a great time to get any kind of home improvement work done, any kind of remodeling work done, any kind of cleanup work, staging work. And when it comes to what kind of things to get done, it's funny, whether it was 5 years ago, today, or I will venture to guess 5 years from today, things like bathrooms, things like kitchens, things like front doors, like all of these things are just tried and true. Keep them updated or get them updated, and it will always pay dividends. Not only will you be able to get more when you sell your home, but you'll enjoy it while you're getting it sold. So many people, it amazes me, they don't do that improvement until they're ready to sell the home. And they
I know.
spend the money to do the improvement. And I want to say, you should have done that a year ago because then you could
Well,
have enjoyed it for a
5 years
year.
ago, even, kitchen,
Exactly.
you're gonna
Yeah,
5 years from a kitchen, you're gonna be
exactly.
fine.
That's
The
right.
other thing that I tell people to is just do general home maintenance. I go
Yes.
to so many homes and they're trying to catch up right
Yeah.
before they sell. Paint your home
Yes.
every, when it needs it,
Let your
make
floor
sure your windows
done.
are oiled and in good
Yes.
shape. If they're
Yep.
fogging up, replace them. You'll enjoy it more and you don't have to play catch up
That's
with
right.
a huge expense when you go to sell it. So
Karen,
those
do
are
you
all
find
really
people with roofs? I find this, I hear about this, and you're closer to the world than I am, but I find that people that were offered a new roof from their insurance company because of the hailstorms we had last year, they still haven't done it yet. They're waiting, then they get it on the market, and then they got to deal with it while it's on the market.
Oh,
Get
yeah,
the
no.
roof done now. Get all
Good
that, like you said, get it all done now.
Yeah, I know you're very smart to do that. One other question that I'd like to ask, and then I'll let you get back to your zillionth Zoom call for the day.
This is my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. What have you seen just in terms of number of listings and number of sold properties? How are the numbers right now?
So, up until the end of March, which is 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, we were in our industry, we have a couple of terms that we use. One is opens, an open contract, like an under contract. We were actually outperforming 2019 up through the end of March in people writing offers and having offers accepted. And we were closing at a higher rate than we were a year ago. Now, for the past 2.5 weeks, because of the order, and because everyone's been very respectful of the order, we've seen a definite downturn in the number of under contracts or opens. That's normal, it's to be expected. Closings are still holding fairly strong, which is good to see. What we do see down dramatically are showings. And that's, again, to be expected. We're not out showing property like we used to, so it should be
We
down.
don't want to break the law.
We don't want to break the law. Exactly right.
Right,
We don't want
we
to
don't
make people
want to do
sick.
that.
We want to be safe. But here's something kind of fun. I just pulled this morning from RE Colorado. And in the 11 county area surrounding the Denver metropolitan area, the median price of a home closed last week is 10% higher, 9.8% higher than it was a year ago. So what it tells us is two things. It tells us that higher end homes are selling, and you're proof of that. But also, it's not just the lower end homes, and we're not seeing that degradation of price. So that supports a lot of what you're talking about today.
I think it does. Well, in other words, if you need to buy or sell a home, it's still okay. And
It's
we can
still
get
okay,
there.
and you can navigate the waters with them. Exactly right. It can be
And
done.
we
It
can do
can be
it. It
done
can be
safely.
done.
Yeah,
It can be done safely
yeah,
and it will overall be a great long-term investment because Colorado real estate. And when we talk about the Boulder market, of course, I work Broomfield, Westminster,
yeah,
Arvada.
yeah.
All of those are spillover markets from Boulder, and they really are, the appreciation goes so much in those
Oh yeah,
markets.
it just
People
does.
call me and they say they want to move to Boulder, and they always say, well, we're not commuting more than an hour. I say, well, let's not go to Vale then.
Yeah,
It'll
exactly.
probably be okay if we don't go to Vale.
So, do you
Although
want to ski
traffic on
every day or just on the weekends?
that's right. Although traffic on I-70 right now is certainly lower, but let's hope
Yeah.
it doesn't stay that way.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you so much. And thank you for the privilege of working for Coldwell
Oh,
Banker. It's been
well.
my honor.
Karen, let me just say it is such an honor to work with you, as I think many of your listeners probably recognize. We have nearly 95,000 agents across America, nearly 1,500 agents in Colorado. And it's no surprise that you are ranked in the top 10 of over 90,000 agents this past year. The way you do your business is remarkable. Not only do you do a lot of business, which helps you, I think, more than most, understand the trends and what's happening in the market and how to get things done. But more impressive than the number of homes that you sell for buyers and sellers is the way you do your business, and the love, the compassion, the care that you put forth is remarkable, and it's what sets you apart from the competition. So we're honored to have you with us. Thank you for all you do
Oh,
to
well,
make
thank you.
Colorado wonderful.
We have a wonderful community here, and boy, do I respect the firefighters, the teachers, the
Oh,
front
yeah.
lines, the
Boy,
nurses. They're brave.
they are
They're
very courageous. Yes, they
they're
are.
very brave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blessings to you.
Great to see you.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Hmm